everyone. So I'm going to talk about I2U2. I2U2 means I2 means Israel and India. U2 means UAE and USA. So as we know that India is incorporating in many economic friendship economic activities like Quad and BRICS. So most of the Indo-Pacific economic activities with the USA. So in most of the things, in most of the activities, activities, the India is participating in, and I2U2 is one of the international organization in which it is actually, if we see it, it is very uncommon and unreal because of it. Despite of the demographic dividend differences between these countries, they are also different in the culture and governance. And let's say that UAE is a Arab monarchy where India has a democracy, very well defined democracy, and the Western USA has a very classic democracy, Western classic democracy. So they are very different. In culture, the Israel is multicultural government. It has multicultural government, and India is also has a vibrant ethnic, linguistic, and racial differences. It means it is very vibrant. India is very vibrant, and in Arab, 85% of the population is comes from is from India as an worker. They are living there as a worker, and so as we can see that all of them are very diverse in culture, governance, in terms of demographic dividend. In terms of demographic dividend, the Israel and the UAE has the population less than 10 million, which is less than 1 crore. And if I talk about the India and USA, then the USA has a total resident of about 300 billion, and India is the second populous country after China. So these countries are very different. And actually, at a broad-based view, if we see, then for the USA, it is like the USA is engaging in many of the partnerships in many membership to counter the China, like AUKUS, EU, KUS, and like Quad. So if we can see in I2U2, the main objective of the US-China rivalry, it means to counter the China. But if we see in closely, then we will discover that it's more economic oriented rather than the oriented towards the politics. Let's see how. If I talk about the Israel, then Israel is a startup nation, and our relationship with the Israel is very diverse. It means is very trade related. And let's talk about the relationship with India and Israel. Our relationship is like Israel is a startup nation, and it has a very high tech technology, especially in terms of cyber security and defense structure. So that's why we used to incorporate, as we know that we are very dependent on the imports for our defense requirement. We are moving toward indigenization, but we are dependent on the imports for now. So that's why we induct a lot of imports defense equipment from Israel. And in the last previous decade, we have done a lot of defense deal with Israel. And actually, in AMCA is also the Israeli radars is going to be used. And if I talk about other aspect rather than defense, then Israel is investing in actually helping the India in water desalinization technique. So by using that, the ocean water and the industrial water, wastewater, is converted into the fresh water. And for India, which is a very here are the problems like water shortage. For India, it is very beneficial. And if I talk about the agriculture sector, so in agriculture sector also we are doing a lot of trade. And after that, if I talk about the UAE is a very known as a very smart investor, because it has diversified its petroleum-based economy into the other economy, into the other trade also. Now it has become the top 20 in terms of the outgoing and incoming FDI, that's foreign direct investment. And So due to that, and if I talk about the UAE and India relationships, actually this I2U2 has boosted the CEPA. CEPA full form is like Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. In this, the UAE and the India is going to have a trade of about $100 billion in the next 5 years, which is very well and which is very good news, because for India, UAE is the second largest. For India is a for India, UAE is the second largest export destination, and for and that worth is about $25 billion. And for the UAE, India is the first export destination of about $43 billion, which is very high. So that's why we have to improvise those relationship. And if I talk about the UAE is the highest FDI comes in India from the UAE. And if I talk about more about then integrated food parks are being set up where India will provide the land, and the UAE will invest $2 billion, and Israel and USA will help giving high tech technology for that, so that the crop yield can maximize, and this will address the food insecurity. And actually this is the main objective of this is also the main point of this I2U2 organization, that is to improvise the food security all over the Middle East and Arab nations. So that's if I talk about the Gujarat and UAE relationship, between the trade relationship, then in energy sector, the hybrid renewable energy project has been set up, which is going to produce about 300 megawatt of energy, and 300 megawatt of wind and solar capacity. And so this is a relationship between the UAE and India. And recently the India has bought a lot of gold from the Israel and from the UAE, and UAE has provided it at a very low custom and at a discounted prices. So this is how our trade between the UAE and Israel and the USA is increasing. And USA is known as a very it's the Silicon Valley is known as a electronic hub, and its biotech belt is also very popular. So due to which actually the USA can help India in this technology sector also, and in terms of the defense sector also, because it is time to counter the China, because China is becoming a very big threat, as we can see from the Galwan Valley clash and the Balkan clash. So this is very important for India to counter the China, and in that terms the USA and India both are understanding that we have to come close, we have to work together, so that we can counter China, because it is a big threat to India, and in terms of USA, it is attacking its hegemony. So that's why the USA wants to counter China, and India also wants to counter China. So this is what's happening, and that's how the I2U2 is a very economical dependent organization. And in terms of politics also, we can see the India and USA how they are coming together, and their aim is same, that is to counter China.